Hi, this is Lucy and welcome to the Observatory. This is an advanced build. You will need catwalks and a flamer trap or a friend in PvP to destroy items. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So time for a quick tour. If you want to know the camp location, we are just to the right of the Rose Room. Mononga is here. This is Morgantown. And Vault 76 is over here. Now, I haven't built here before. I wanted somewhere high up with views. You have views at the front. You have views at the side and at the back. I think I am going to build here again. It's actually a nice spot. There are quite a lot of plants and detritus about, but they will bulldoze. I am in first person because somebody complained in my last video. Apparently I forgot to go into first person, so if there's something to complain about, you know, one of you will complain. So, if you're wondering what this is, I needed to charge my some fusion cores. This is attached to the generator, which is under the floor. The middle foundation is removable, so there is a generator. But this actually needs real power, and I didn't want to put another generator out because of budget restrictions. So I've done this, and it does mean if I can take this off, this conduit will stay live if I need, or even just attach something else to this conduit if I need dog food or any other things that require direct power. So that's what that is. So, why did I build an observatory? Someone who I have tagged in my Discord and who has not responded asked me a few months ago to build an observatory. What they actually wanted me to do was do a build video of a camp tour from someone else a couple of years ago, but intellectual property, I can't copy someone else's work. And also it wasn't really my aesthetic, so I've built this. It is very complicated. By all means have a go, but be prepared to go crazy. I actually wrote myself a checklist for build order, and I will actually put that, if you don't know, and I think some of you don't, underneath the video it'll say more, and there'll be a load of text. I put chapters in there, I put information, I put links. I'm going to put it in there. So there will be a build checklist. You can copy and paste it and print it if you want a hard copy. So it does help. I've built this 6 times. Although the biggest problem was getting doors on, to be honest, upstairs. So anyway. So I used this White Spring set. Sort of giving it a kind of, well, obviously I was kind of going for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, sort of Victorian punk. Is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like steampunk, but yeah, I guess a bit steampunk. But obviously this is a Regency set, but the Victorians did use Regency buildings. They didn't just knock them all down. You could build it in any set, and if you want something more boily, I mean, these roofs with the sticky out bits, with the cornicing, are kind of integral, especially for the top with the dome, because the dome doesn't quite fit on there. It's slightly too big, but you can use the army base roof set. It's got a similar kind of thing, and it looks a bit more, really looking at these bits, similar edge. Anyway, we have another circle inside the smaller circle. You don't need to keep this. It's not mandatory, but it is a very large area and it helped me break it up. The one thing I do regret is not double walling this, just this set, because this small circle, because this is the outside, and I will be double walling this. Touch wood. Shouldn't affect anything else in the build. So we have our workshop sort of around the sides, like so. You noticed that is flickering. It wasn't doing this yesterday. Okay, how weird. I have Commander de Guerre, who annoys the hell out of me, to be honest. I had to get her on Scarlet. I mean, I've had Scarlet for 3 years, this character. I did all of them on my main character. When she first came out, I did her, but I felt no kind of, you know, desire. And I've shut her up for the video, because she talks incessantly and repeats herself incessantly. So, there we go. This is her desk, her workstation. We have sort of sciencey stuff. Says the woman with 3 science degrees. Okay, we got organic chemistry, I believe. Engineering. More engineering. More engineering. And more engineering. So there we go. So now, in an ideal world, we would have a metal spiral staircase that we could plonk in the middle there that would go all the way up. Although it did occur to me that with ladders as they exist in the game at the moment, if you attach another ladder you cannot get off at a landing. There's no landing, so I'm not quite sure how that would work in reality. So all of the stairs are at the back of the building. So this is the first room. I made this, I mean, I made it into a house as well as an observatory. So I kind of gone a bit Victorian-y, Edwardian-y. I put the Old Glory fire in there. Nuka Nurse did a video recently. I did do it in a slightly different way from her, because I kind of merged her way with the way that I was doing it with the small fire thing, but that is really cool. So I will link the video down below. Kitchen, obviously I subsist on donuts and wine, which sounds absolutely perfect to me, so if you're wondering why the roofs go in different directions, it's because you have to change the direction to get those corner pieces on. Just realised something actually. Some reason I don't have my... There we go. To be honest, I did so much work on this, I changed so many things. This is the bedroom, upstairs in the smaller circle. I do not have a bathroom. In the bigger room down below, I did try free placing some walls, but for some reason the top of the walls was coming through the roof, which was kind of a problem, so yeah. To get up to the observatory, you actually have to go up 2 flights here, and there is a reason for this. I originally put a catwalk down here and a staircase here. The staircase was overhanging here. It was overhanging even with the edging on. So, and the other problem I had was because this dome has a doorway, I had a problem with the catwalk. So to get the catwalk on, I had to position the dome in such a way that it wasn't really centred and you had gaps. So in the end, I decided on this setup. There is a door in the dome. It is free placed. I kind of gave up in the end. It's not perfect. It's not terrible, but could go with going forward a bit. It's really difficult to position it. Well, we'll have a go when we rebuild it. I I put this door on before I tried to do, or came up with the idea for the sort of two-storey access. So, but we can work on that, we can change it. So this is why I built an observatory. We have a telescope. Yes, you stand up on the thing, but that's fine, I can live with it. You can't actually see through the telescope, but you do get +2 perception if you use it for long enough. There we go. So that's kind of useful. So I didn't put too much stuff out. I did as a kind of end. I did this last night actually. I decided to put the enclave thing in here, just to break up the grey of the floor really, and because it's got stars on. So have a work station here, or a work desk with my planetarian lamp. It might be worth noting, I had originally intended to put a weather vane up here. You cannot put anything, even something small, you can't put anything up here. It says it's outside the build area. The build area generally is 5 stories. Because we're using circles, blueprints, the foundations are quite high. This dome is 2 stories, so it's kind of 4.5 stories. So that is why. I mean, if you built it somewhere else where you can put your camp widget up higher, you might be able to get a higher build. The views from here are lovely. Obviously we can see the Brotherhood of Steel, the observatory over there. Mine's prettier. Top of the world behind that tree. It's hiding. So yeah, it is nice. I left this step here, the edge, because gaps. It's up to you really. And yes, I know the staircase is clipping. You could use a different one if you want. So there are compromises with a build like this, but overall I am pretty happy with it. So now, it's only going to take me a month. I will show you how I built it. Nothing will go wrong. So in the centre of your build area, or as near to the centre as you can get, you want to place a foundation. Now this foundation you are going to attempt, but not place, don't place it, a large circle. Yes, I've edited out, well I haven't edited out, I've redone it, because it took me a few goes to get the foundation where I needed it. So hopefully when I place this down, or do that, it will go green, but don't place it, not yet. We're then going to build out from this centre point to the edge of the build area. For me it's 5 foundations. And we are going to create an offset of 1/4. And the reason for this is we're going to place a small circle here, but a small circle uses 3/4 of a foundation. So if we try and line it up without this offset, then it won't work. It will be offset by 1/4. Right, so we're compensating. We're going to remove this one and pray, and this one. And we are going to take a blueprint for a small circle. Got one without roofs. Going to try and line it up so that the foundation in the middle is going in the same direction as these foundations, and This is where you can have problems, because if this middle foundation is not in the right place, you will have problems later on placing the large foundation. I did say I was going to double wall this time. This is going to be the centre room where Commander de Guerre is. Is she a commander? Can't even remember. Can't remember her first name. I really don't like her at all. So just go around and double wall if you want. We need to add a middle row. It needs to be facing inwards. Be aware of that if you've double walled the bottom. This does not need double walling. And then one on the top. Again, facing inwards. I always use the barn set for this because it pretty much works with all of these build tricks, and it's very easy to tell which side is which. Take out the middle row. These will float because they're doorways. And we want to take out these foundations, but not the one in the middle. I am worried that's a little bit low. We shall see. Leave this foundation here because it's a good point. If you've messed up, you can get your original foundation point back. Right. We're now going to try and place our big circle. And it went in! Yay! This is the second time I've done this. If it won't go back in, then obviously your lining up wasn't accurate and you will have to start again, like I just did. But this is what it should look like. Okay, next. I have changed the colour of this wall and the one at the back just to mark the doorways. It can get confusing. Now, one of the biggest problems I had with this build was I built it and then had to work out where I was going to put the stairs and the doors. The door here went on absolutely perfectly fine, but the door in the square portion I could not get it on. So I'm going to try and put it on now, and the way I'm going to do that, be aware when you are building with circles that sometimes if you attach a foundation you will not get it off. Now, it's not so much of a problem at the back, but just in case we decide to do something different, I'm going to attach this foundation with a catwalk because I can take the catwalk off. I'm going to put a staircase up. This one will do. Probably have to actually take this wall off. Add an upper floor. A wall. Add a door. Convert this to a plain wall of some type, remove it, you have a floating door. We are going to flamer trap that, just in case it's in the way. I mean, in theory we shouldn't have to, but it should be in the correct place, but I'm just being a little bit paranoid, given how this build has gone. remove the floor and the staircase. Put the doorway back in. Right, actually the roofs might have conflicted with the door, so it's probably best that you flame a trap it. Next we're going to add some roofs to the big circle. Just go around and add a roof to every other wall. Helps in my case because it makes it easier having different coloured walls every other one. We're then going to flame a trap these. Take another roof, attach it, flatten it, flame a trap, lift the roof back up into the upright position, and then you can just go around and snap this on like this. Go around the whole thing till you've destroyed all of these roofs. Store this. Fill in the gaps. Make sure the roof is actually snapping to the wall. Then we need to destroy these as well, so same as before. When you do this, make sure that the flamer trap is close to the edge, because otherwise it can destroy itself because it destroys the roof that it's on. Right, so it should look like this. Next we are going to put on the square section. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to build a square on the bottom like so. Make sure that it's facing inwards. It should be 3 by 3. That one is in the wrong place. Is it? No, maybe not. I have had problems with this. When you place your first wall, place it in one of the middle positions, because it is going around these foundations here, and for some reason if I put the middle one on first, I'm able to snap the others on. I mean, it might depend on your circle. If you have significantly, I mean, I have glitched it a little bit so that some are a little lower than others. So if you can't do this with your circle, then you might have to rebuild your circle. Anyway, now we've done that, we are going to attach walls on top. Like so. We need to put roofs on for the middle part. You will notice that you cannot get a flat roof over here, so for this we will have to place these in the upright position. Do the same over here. We can flatten these down. We'll get the middle one on. These ones I got on by using a corner. Unfortunately, it's difficult to work out which way it goes, so it's just trial and error. Wrong way. It's always the wrong way, obviously. Switch it around to there. There we go. Roof. Corner. Wrong way. Corner. So they're all going in the same direction. Next we need to put the roofs on for the top of the square. I am actually going to use the Responders roof set, and the reason is because we want to make sure that these edges are all in, because it changes the direction of the roof. Oh, I missed one. Like so. We need to take these bottom squares off. Now, some of them will come off, but you will probably have to lift the roof on the last one. And be aware of which wall you are scrapping. You might want to do these in a different set or recolour them so you know. Because yes, I nearly did do it. Right, this is the last one. Oh, actually it came off. Probably because I've got the roofs on the top that's supporting it. So now what's next? We are going to go to our camp widget and repair all. I'm going to jinx it by saying it's going quite well this morning. So we're going to lower all these down. The door is in. It might be the wrong way round. I forgot to check. I am going to put a staircase up here, like so. You can, obviously, if you want, put another foundation in here, like so. I mean, you could have done that to start with. It's just always a good policy when dealing with complex builds like circles to not attach foundations, because you can't take them off half the time. Depends on the height, but it's just, yeah. If you want the underpinnings on here, this is fine. You can just, especially if you use the barn wall, add a quarter catwalk and add half walls all the way around. Now, for mine, what I did was it's actually working. I put half walls all the way along. So I place that in there like so. And then I put 2 half walls. You can actually put the set you're going to use on. You don't have to use the barn set in this instance, but you do need the barn set for the underpinning, I think. We'll just put a couple of the white spring set in, like so. Be aware that you can't take these off unless you destroy or remove these. So either just convert them to the full walls to the white spring set if you want full walls, or do this and replace them with half walls. It's up to you really. I just liked the round windows, but you've got those ones as well if you want. So go around and do that around the whole bottom of the build if you want to do either of those options. So the bottom story now looks like this. I've put all the underpinnings on and the half walls in. Next we're going to do the roof on the top. The easiest, we're going to need a roof in the middle. The easiest way to do this is to carry a wall on up here. Now it will not go in this position because of these roofs. Don't know why. So just lift these roofs up, this one and this one. You can get a wall in. And then lower them again. You will need to lift them up. No, you don't need to lower them. Place a roof here. We're going to put an upright one on. And an upright one here. Lower this so we can destroy it. We can take these off at the end. The wall shouldn't be in the way. And just put roofs on and destroy them. You can normally only get on 2 at a time. This one won't go because it's clipping there. So just go around and destroy them as we have before. I flip the roof up like this because when I do it means it will snap here. It won't if it's in the flat position, if you were wondering. Oh, that one's already just done. You don't need to destroy the last one, but it will probably get destroyed anyway. Oh no, this one didn't get destroyed, so we still have. Just go around and repair them. Or you can go to your camp widget and repair all. It's fine, whichever's easier. Flatten them all out. You have your perfect roof. We do need to take this wall off, so we are going to have to actually lift these up. Sometimes I find it's easier to do it in the quarter position. Depends what position you put it on as. It's going to be a pain. It's this one it doesn't like. There we go. I put it in the flat position because I'd actually put it on in the upright position, so it's pretty much the opposite of how you put it on will get it off. This one won't come off because we need to lift these roofs. The bottom one for some reason just comes off. It might be because these are grey roofs rather than the green. I do not know. But normally just put it into the opposite position of what you put it on as. Sometimes it'll go on the corners, it just depends how it's attached. This is why you can't use the base roofs for this, because there's no you can't switch a flat roof to an upright roof. Right, next I'm going to add an extra row around the roof, and you want to do this in a different colour. I'm going to use these red ones. This is so we can line up the dome. Now, I put a door in my dome and it was an absolute pain. You could try, I haven't tried it, you could try building up a staircase and with upper floors like we did here to get the door in, but the other problem is I didn't want, if you look at the dome has two variants. You have the one with the foundation and one without. If you look at the dome, it actually, the door position is on the outside of that sort of sticky out doorway bit. I wanted mine on the inside. So what I did was, and I'm just going to do this once. If it doesn't fit perfectly, feel free to redo yours until you're happy with it. I just did a three-place doorway, which is a pain to line up, and I placed it about there. Not sure it's straight. I did this a few times and I placed that door in it, trying to work out which way it opens. What I will do is I will put this door in because I know that the handle on the left means it opens inwards, and then swap to that one. Yeah, I really just wish they made it consistent. Swap the doorway to a wall, remove the wall. We are going to flame trap the door. The dome will attempt to snap onto it, but if you do manage to snap it, the dome won't place. That has been my experience. By all means, feel free to experiment. Part of the reason I used this door was because of the way it broke. There are others that break in different ways, so just experiment. If you can't get your dome on, if the door is in the way. And then we are going to just line up the dome. Well, I'm going to place it down if I can, first of all. And then fine tune it. Right, that's way out. But see, it's trying to snap to the door, but even though it's broken, it's an absolute pain. So I tend to find moving it in small increments helps. You can't turn snapping off, I don't think, because it's a doorway. The reason I did the contrasting rows is so that you can see how much, because it does overlap slightly, so you want to be able to gauge how much it's overlapping by. And just basically fiddle with it until you think it's in the right place. You really want the edge here to be of the door. It's difficult to tell because it's buckled. So I don't think the door is going to line up as well as I would like. Still not straight though, it's not in the middle of this roof. But be aware that a lot of it is a rotation. See, there we go. So spend half an hour doing this until you're happy with it, and then you repair the door and you're not happy with it. But it's a whole thing. Right, so you get the idea anyway. I'm going to remove these extra roofs. Now, I did find, I was trying to at one point find the roof that the dome was attached to, and apparently it wasn't attached to any, but I don't trust it, so I am breaking the dependency by changing the roofs, just on the off chance that I just remove a roof and it removes the dome. And we are going to think about stairs. Right, for this one, I'm going to place a quarter catwalk there. Just using the white one as a temporary one. It won't go in. It will go in. Put a full one. Sorry, a half one. A corner. And a staircase. We need more catwalks. Now, I used a quarter, I think. I'm going to turn this roof into a flat, plain one without the lip. Now, coming round this corner, this did not want to come in or go on. Now there's two things. One is this wall. You can take it out temporarily. You have to lift the roof. The other thing is it needs a mat. Do not know why it needs a doormat, but if it's on a roof, it needs a doormat. So place, or a rug. Place a rug down where the bottom is going to go, and then still not going. Why are you not working? Cannot place intersects with an existing object. Do I have to take this wall off as well? Right, hang on a minute. This is honestly, it's just, yeah, a giant pain. I don't know why this rug won't go there. That's ridiculous. Right, see if I can get the rug a bit closer. We can try a different staircase. Let's try the base one. There we go. Right. You want to get that wall back in, just go here, and I think that's the right place. No, it's not the right place. But as I said, I've had problems before, and they go in better if you have one in the middle anyway, so it's not necessarily wrong. Oh, for goodness sake. Is it the roof? Right, it was the roof. I don't know if you remember when we put the walls up to put the extra floor on in the middle. I could not get a wall in here. It's something to do with this story, and it's something to do with the roofs. I don't know what. But anyway, it's all on. And that's the wrong roof. Put the corner back on. For this one, it's a bit weird. For some reason, and I don't know why, catwalk will snap there to the bottom of this. Oh, maybe it's because that's the bottom of a... I can't get a catwalk on here, only on the bottom. I'll tell you what, if we put a wall there and try and put a catwalk under it now. Will this work? No, weird. Well, we'll take that one out. Put that one in. Right, now it'll go in. Right. They only snap on these roofs at the bottom of doorways. This is replaceable. Anything on the square is replaceable. Just be careful about taking walls off of the circles. Or the small circles anyway. The big circle's fine because it's on the edge of a foundation. Right, so now we need a corner. And a staircase. And I'm worried that we're going to have exactly the same problem over here with the wall. We also have the same problem here with... We need a rug. And take this wall out. I'm not. Need to lift the roof up. There we go. Right, take the white catwalk off. Take the extra wall off. Put the catwalk back like that. Take the rug off. And then we need to get two walls in here. Again, we just build underneath like so, and hopefully these will just go back in. So we have our stairs. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. We can take the catwalk off up here, the white one. Be very careful when you're doing these, obviously, because if you pick up the wrong thing, you could be in trouble. We can try and repair the door. It's not a terrible position, actually. I think it's better than the one on mine. So, what next? We need to change all of these walls into the correct set, which is the white spring set, or whichever set you're using. So go around and do that. This wall on mine, I did actually put two half walls in just to get that round window. You can do it if you want. I also put a fireplace there, so it's up to you. I'm just going to put a wall underneath. Won't come up. If you have a problem getting a wall off, it is almost certainly because the roof is holding it in place. Having a problem getting that one in, so I just changed the roof to one without a lip and change it back. Change up your roofs so that they are the correct type. And down here. No. On the ones where you have staircases, you might want to not use the lip. I'm just going to change this staircase out because it's bugging me. It's up to you whether or not you use one of these here. It will. It's to get rid of the gaps. You can see these gaps are disappearing because of the edging on the roof. Obviously in the middle we want one without the edging, like so. All of these need to be changed to ones without the edging. It is tedious. It's fine. We need to get rid of any of these sort of spare walls. I'll need to lift the roofs to get them off. Got any more? Yep, we have them here. Be very careful when doing this, because if you take off one of these circular walls, it's going to be difficult to get it back on without pretty much starting again. And at this juncture, you do not want to be doing that. If I break this now, I'm just going to have to live with it, because I am not doing this again. No, this one still won't come off. What's keeping it? And all it was basically I hadn't turned the wall above it into a doorway. It was the wall supporting it. So if you get a wall stuck and you've lifted all the roofs, check that there's not another wall above it. I mean, honestly, sometimes it's the simplest things can trip you up. And then of course we have to reset all the roofs. Okay. Change these to the white set as well, or whichever set you're using. I'm just going to assume, for argument's sake, that you are using the same set as me. So there we go. One last thing is adding sort of some foundations out here. I did lower them a bit because they were quite high. Don't know if this will work. Yes. Oh, I'm standing on that. What I said before about foundations, if you stuck a foundation on there, it would probably get stuck. So I separated it with a catwalk. I can now lower this foundation. Actually, I'm going to do it this way, because we have that wall. Now normally these will go in with a barn wall on there, but it just gives us an extra bit of wiggle room. On the outside I use marble. I use this marble, which is the white spring. I'll do that at the back as well. I didn't lower these. You can if you want, but just do it. So actually no, you can't because of the staircase. So you can add some steps though. On the inside I used a newer marble floor that we got. It's called, it just says marble actually. This one is white spring tile. This one is marble. So you just go around and change all these. Right, we have all of it done now. I didn't put anything different in here, but you could if you wanted. This centre foundation on this big circle will come out, so you can merge your power generating generator in there and then put it back in. Just to show you. And the last thing I have not done is I have not put a door in here. Now, on mine, the door went in on this one. I don't know why it went in on this one and not the others, or whether it'll go in again. It will. There we go. I don't know if it has to do with the directionality of the... I honestly do not know. And that is pretty much it. Oh, one last thing. Wallpaper. I use tile, white tile on these. I kind of, it was the grubbiest kind of white that went with the walls. The breeze block looks quite good as well, or you could go for something contrasting or just completely leave it off. It's completely up to you. Random roof. So, was it worth it? One of my friends said it looks like a wedding cake, but that's fine. I don't care. I like it. Was it worth all the trouble? Yes. For me, yes, because it is beautiful. I'm not blowing my... Well, I am blowing my own trumpet. I can blow my trumpet if I want. It certainly looks different from anything else. That door's on backwards. I think we've already covered that. It's got lots of space. It's adaptable. If you want to build a boilie camp with lots of machines and boy stuff, which is kind of ironic me saying that given my background, but then do that. There are other build sets you can use. I've been trying lately. Somebody commented on an old video recently that I double wall everything, and I think in the last, well, when he posted that a couple of weeks ago, the last 10 builds I'd only double walled 2. So now out of that now I've only double walled 1 out of 10. Because we used to double wall because we only had 3 build sets. It gave us lots of options. So I'm trying to use the newer build sets that we've got. I mean, in situations like this, I don't want an external wall on the interior of my building, so I will double wall then, because it's an interior wall. I mean, it doesn't even need wallpaper. I did add wallpaper. The trouble with the half walls is you have this mismatch when you get, because of the panelling, but it still works. Well, we don't have any choice if you want half walls like this, but you don't have to. So I will post the build order in text format down below. It is not easy. it is complicated, and the other problem you have is if you delete the wrong thing, you could end up having to start again. When I developed this build, I had to build it 6 times. My initial build only had 2 stories and it had raised roofs, and it just didn't look like an observatory. So I continued developing. Building it for the video has, I mean, some of these things I've kind of done on the fly, hoping they would work. Getting the staircases in, all that took a lot of time and effort, and I kind of feel it was worth it. I think this is a camp that I would like to keep. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun with it. I hope it doesn't give you a nervous breakdown. If you're not confident, by all means try it, but it's meant to be fun. If you don't have fun, don't do it, which is a good philosophy for life, to be honest. And if you have any questions or queries, please post them down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.